Welcome back to your channel. My name is Brad and SuperCoach Pro. Today we are doing the round 21 AFL SuperCoach review. As you can see here, I scored 2,504 for the week. Let me know how you guys scored. Top was 7%. And yeah, look, not too bad for that. Ranking only moves up 183 spots, which I actually thought would be a lot more this week because some antipods didn't do as well, like your Brayshaws, your Steels, and players like that. So, yeah, barely moved up, but we're sitting still in the top 1%, up to 2,290. So, I want to be inside that top 2K. That's the aim of the game for the next fortnight. I think the Paddy Cripps incident on the bump on Archie, who was subbed out of the game, will be interesting. If he is out for a week or two, it might vary my trades on him or Taranto, because Taranto is missing next week with concussions. So, one trade, so we're in better position than most, but I think we're just moving too late with the ranking points because we didn't go aggressive in grabbing players like Himmelberg and thinking that'd be a keeper. And I did this a couple of years with Rowan Marshall. I didn't think he was going to be full primo, and he smashed it that year. And Himmelberg seems to be the guy I missed out on this year. So I guess we start in the back line. You're probably wondering about a couple of things in my side, but we'll go through it. So Dawson, pretty solid, 108 there. I think he was 76 3/4 time. Had kick-out duties again, so it's really weird one. He wasn't playing much half forward from what I saw of the game. Intercept game was pretty good as usual. He's one I'm really torn on whether to start him next year. I think he's been a solid pick without being fantastic. He is averaging 109, but I kind of expected a little bit more from Dawson, and I think it's just based on role. Sicily hasn't been playing as much lockdown this week, at least, I thought. Score goes back up when he plays as a third tall intercept defender, sort of like that Voston role. And yeah, 104 you'll take from Sis. Had a good price for next year too, both these guys. And Doherty, 124. I think he was sort of slowed down in that last quarter, or maybe the third. I can't remember which one. But yeah, that's nice to see him bounce back from a couple 90 scores the last few weeks. Oh man, May was on 24 points at half time. And that worried me. And, since bringing him in, it hasn't been the best pick. But for 430k, I had no options there. And yeah, he looked like the best out of the bunch. He's a pod, so he's kind of killing me. And every team that he's against seems to kick really straight. So that's the issue. So I'm kind of relying on a bloke based on kickouts and intercepts. And so hopefully he can get some good intercepts. So he's going to have to play on Curnow this week or Mcrae. And they're both really good markers of the ball too. So not sure. And then he's probably on Mcrae the week after. So yeah, I don't know. He doesn't average well against Carlton. He averages okay against Brisbane. The last two games, MCG and the Gabba. So, see how he goes. Short was annoying. He was on 46 at half time. Then, I don't know really what's wrong with this guy at the moment. Obviously, it's role-based, but I can't get rid of that red thing. It's really annoying me. There we go. And yeah, he's not a player I'll be starting next year. I've never really started Richmond players in general, and this is why, is our coach Dimmer sort of like Alistair Clarkson back in the day. He does like to swing things, Damian Hardwick, and we've never been a fantasy side in general for SuperCoach or AFL fantasy. We're just not relevant because everyone sort of has that mood of being a team player and sort of like Bakes as well, just play anywhere where we need him to play. So don't start Richmond players next year, and even Giant players, depending on the coach. I don't want to go down that path again. This is funny. I E on Crisp, and if he had scored like a 50, I was going to trade Ware to someone like real cheap, like a Wiedering who's dropped 200k since the start of the season. I don't know if that would have been a bad move. I didn't see what he scored. Just gone. Maybe I'll just have a quick look, just out of curiosity, because I was just looking at getting Crisp's score off the field because I actually thought him and Short would do bad, and Short was the one to do worse. So that was, not what I expected. Players I can afford. Out of curiosity, what's going to happen? Wiedering looks like he would have been a bad choice this week. I'm pretty sure it was him that I was looking at. I'll just go Carlton real quick. probably don't care about this, but this is just curiosity killed the cat. Maybe he's gone up in price, so maybe I won't go players I can afford. What did he score? He scored 90, so it wouldn't have been the worst pick, and that's what I was going for. Sorry that took me so long to find out there. Anyway, that was the option I was looking at. It's actually not a bad price if you do need someone to upgrade where to, just for a couple of weeks. If you got plenty of trades, it's probably not worth talking about a guy at 346,000. It's more just a value pick to get your last 2 weeks. Yeah, so not sure what's going to happen to the bench. He was midi-sub as predicted. And then Laird and Miller is interesting as well. Taranto was laid out. They said he had concussion from the previous game. Then they said he's going to be ruled out next week. So if I had known that this week, I would have traded him out to Dan Houston or someone like that had flexibility, DPP, and I wouldn't have had to field short. So that's really annoying. So if Cripps only has a week ban, I'll keep him and get rid of Taranto. But if Cripps has 2 weeks, I'll trade him and hope Taranto comes back in around 23. So I'm going to have to do something this week with the last trade, and it's just going to have to be someone that can smash out the next 2 games, who's got easy opponents, and yeah, just sort of wing it from there. Speaking of which, Laird, great game today. He was actually on 154 and got scaled down. He had 2 goals and so many possessions, and kind of really annoyed about a 145, and you probably think I'm sooking about that. But if his name was Bontempelli or Lockie Neal, it's a 180 game. It was only because JK kicked 8 goals, I think it was, or something like that. And yeah, sort of the scaling went down, but scaling shouldn't go down to players that dominated. So don't understand why he got scaled down. He was around the ball the whole time. He had so many possessions every quarter. And yeah, just seems like champion data don't reward him as much as they love to kiss, track, and bonus. And they're probably players I might start next year because they get points for breathing, and that's really annoying. And I'm being sarcastic, obviously, so don't take me serious, but they do. Miller, 98, tagged by Finn McGuinness, and that was predicted by a lot of people. And yeah, I just wanted to roll with it anyway. He'd been in form, so you're always going to pick a VC that's in form. Kainova, I didn't see that coming, I'll be honest. Like a lot of people that did, like he broke his thumb 2 weeks ago or whatever it was against Geelong. So, you know, pretty ballsy if you're backing a guy who's, you know, just done back-to-back 80s. 96 and 85. He was tagged the week before, but you're backing a VC who's injured is not always the go. So I just went to the gym, so I've got a smoothie that's trying to digest, and I just see my SuperCoach app, and I was like, I just got to bang out this potty real quick. And yeah, so I did not see that coming at all, and it looks like he's VC land again, so might have a look at VC and see options going into the week if I get enough time in this vid. Neil 138, he looked everywhere today. He was fantastic. The Blues made a late charge, and he was the instrumental player on that Brizzy side that, you know, got them going. And, you know, sometimes he butchers it, but 138 was pretty decent from him considering his stands have been a little bit lower the last couple of weeks. Mills 106, I was tempted after that Friday night game to VC Mills against North, but as I thought, I kind of had a bad feeling that players sort of like don't really care against these bad sides and sort of do nothing. It's the Heenies of the world that take advantage when they're up forward. So I thought in that game the forwards will score more than what the mids did, especially with Goldstein being around the ground. I thought maybe the clearances might go a little bit towards North Simpkins sort of way and players around him. So 106, pretty disappointing for a guy I bought in. I bought him after his heater patch, and he's done nothing since in my side. Cripps 104. Good to have him in there, finally doing stuff in the last 3 weeks. He's got a 3-week average of something decent. It's probably around the same time everyone traded him out. So his 3 round isn't too bad. 122 and his 5 is 108. So sort of bounced back. He's averaging 110 for the season, but I missed out on a lot of early scores from him too. So I don't know how well he's scored for me. probably not 110. And Jackson Mcrae, do we start him next year? That's going to be a big discussion point in the off-season. I don't really know what to think about Mcrae. Does he cop the Lockie A tag this week as well? I think he did a job on merit this week, potentially. Came in for Toronto. I'm not sure. But, yeah, disappointing. He scores well against Giants, but I just feel like the tag's coming his or Bont's way, so I don't really want to VC anyone in that game. Finish us off with Hawthorn, so maybe he's a VC option there, but I'm just done with him. He is at a good price, though, for next year. Depends what happens with Dunkley if he stays in at Bulldogs. And this is a typical Sean Darcy day. He loves one of these every now and then, just does stuff all against English, and they just didn't accumulate points together. I thought there'd be a lot of points in this game for each other, hit-out-wise, and no, they just sort of cancelled each other out. English had been useless. I should have went Gawn instead of English. I had an option of either of those, and I didn't want to go Gawn because of his ankle syndesmosis or whatever, and I thought maybe they might rest him before finals, potentially round 23, and I thought Dogs have something to play for that, so they're not going to rest English. So that was my point, and I think I just overthought that completely. Should have just shot the money at Gawn and just knew he's been a premium for years, and English sort of has never really been proven this SuperCoach seasons prior. So yeah, it is what it is there. And Steph Martin had BOG, I'm pretty sure, in the VFL, so that's scary if he comes back for English owners like myself. So yeah, interesting. I don't know what to do. And Teakle 73, he's good cover, and Cameron's just stinking it up against Gawn and Jackson, hence why I put him on the bench as an E, because I thought that was pretty obvious that he wouldn't do that well and not back up his 113 from the week before. Carroll's been a perfect loophole, but Laird's been the saviour every week for the last month. So you need a loophole somewhere, and Giants have early games, so Hamilton's sort of been useful. He's been my DPP forward option, and Owens coming back sort of ruined my loophole. So Carroll, in hindsight, has actually been great because Carlton have late games, and he'll be my whip again. But I'm hoping to VC Laird in the next couple instead of having to see him and worried that he's not going to go big. And he's really saved my season and kept me in the top 1%. Cogs 106. You kind of know what to expect from Cogs. He's always averaged around 100 every year, and this is about his average for the last couple seasons anyway, around that mark of 102. A lot of people traded him out at 37. He's just gone 140, 85, 174, 113, 109, 105, 113, 95, 106, and 106. So, if you brought him back in and wasted 2 trades on him, kind of annoying. But he's been a keeper from our forward line from day dot. I'm glad I started him like most of you would have. And Parker, he's been a decent pickup this season. Hasn't really varied in price since I brought him in. Hopefully some of these guys stay in the side. Like, he's only had that one bad game of 75 since bringing him in, really. Other than that, he's been really consistent. And the Tomahawk's sort of my unsung hero here. Like, he's a couple games when Butters got injured, he's gone 129, 77, 98, 141, 93, 94. So he's got a 3 and 5 round average of 109 and 100. So better pick than Jeremy Cameron, and in 5% of sides, and he's got the Weagles the last game of the round, so please don't rest him, because we just saw Geelong rest some players, and if they're finishing first and their points clear, they might do that, and hopefully Tomahawk's not one they rest. Hopefully it's someone like Jeremy Cameron. See how we go. So a bit of a pod there, and I had to bring in a player because Butters got injured a month and a half ago now, or maybe 2 months. And Dunkley, I don't know what's going on here, but he's finally made a bounce back, because that 62, 80 and 67 was horrible. Bounce back with 130 and 155 respectively. And now he has a season average of 108. So I like that. Not a bad shout for a VC against the Giants. I don't think he'll get the tag, I wouldn't imagine. He's a bit of a bull. McGuinness can run all day though, so probably goes to Mcrae, you'd think. Interesting. And Butters was a smoky VC I was thinking about against Richmond. And he's been great since holding on to him too. I could bring him back when he come back. So it's a bit slow to start off. 96.74, but the last 3 weeks he's gone 100, 120, and 121. So I've been rewarded for keeping him in my forward line. Bont didn't do as well this week, so I've got a bit of a pod forward line going on. Hawkins in 5% of size, I think I said. Butters is in about 17. And Brody stunk it up, which is kind of expected against a doggies midfield. But I didn't think he'd go 65. I was thinking more about the 80. So, whatever is what it is. He's been pretty consistent, has an average of 100 now, and, been a season keeper. And I started with him, unlike some coaches. But, yeah, he's going to look good for next year, potentially. Monday's retirement, Fife's cooked. It'll just be really Brayshaw, Sarong, and Brody. So I just had a mental blank. So yeah, look, that's aside. I'll talk about my VC and C options this week. What do I do with Toronto? I'm not sure. I'm just winging this on the fly. It literally just opened about 5 minutes ago, and I just wanted to get this done. So the Cats game. So really, I've got to do someone. So it's obvious that I got a VC Laird against North. I don't have anyone against Richmond. We bang it to this stupid top of the goal square. What's he like against Richmond, sis? This would be a really weird pod. But there you go, 141, 128, because we don't lower our eyes most of the time unless it's Prestia or Lambert, and Lambert's retired. So he could be a sneaky captain if Laird failed. But yeah, it's a real tough one for mine. Maybe Lachie Neale's a little bit back in form. What's he like against St Kilda? If you don't got SuperCoach Gold, this is worth a look. I don't love it really. Maybe Clayton Oliver's back. He's got a good scoring ability against Carlton. So the last option for me, Took. No, I don't like Geelong. No, I'm not going to even bother VCing Took or seeing Took. And then Mills can get stuff. So for mine, Laird into Oliver, and just hope things go well there. Now for my trade plans, if you're still hanging about, it's going to have to be something really different. If Cripps misses, I've really got to trade the best available. If he misses one, I put Cripps to the bench because I don't want to be playing Darcy Cameron, and it sort of forces my hand this in general. Players I can afford. Damn, you probably just go Josh Kelly. Really. 3-round average, not Shy Bolton. He's so hot and cold. 5-round average. Nah, Adam Sherrill would have been a steal a couple of weeks ago. Maybe Josh Kelly gets it done. He's at a good price. Does he cop a tag from either of these sides? Probably not. The Freo tag. He doesn't have good history against Freo for whatever reason. He's the kind of player that gets rested too. We've already seen Spike McVeigh rest players, so maybe I get rid of Short, bench Short, and bring a really good defender. Oh man, this could be super risky. Do you go Aaron Hall because he's got the ceiling? Do you trust him for 2 more weeks? I really don't know. I don't think I could, because if he gets injured, I've got no cover the week after. So if I had 1 week left, I'd do it. And I can't even afford Tom Stewart. I don't think he ended up being cheap enough. So Dan Houston maybe is the guy I bring in the side. Ed Richards is a shout. He's a bit of a smoky. Kadeem Coleman stunk it up. Zorko's not bad. So Zorko has some options. I'm feeling like a few of you have been in the same boat. So I'll look more into it. He might not even be worth trading. On the off scenario, Cripps gets 2 weeks. Surely he's not a Brownlow favourite. Like, he's going to have a big first half of the year, but he dropped off immensely. And there's a lot of good Carlton players that would have stole votes off him. So maybe we look at doing something with Paddy Cripps' money if he's missing 2. So I'm kind of hoping he is missing 2, because then I get advantage over the rest of the competition. Darcy Parish has Port and Richmond. Do I try sack half? man, we leaked so many points. I remember this 166 game. I think it was Dreamtime game when he got best on, maybe. I can't remember. Anyway, here's one I could go. He's a pod. He's a guy that could break me into the top whatever percentage, or I could grab Walsh, Brayshaw. I've got really good picks, so I'm probably more reluctant to actually go Cripps to a Walsh, Brayshaw, or Parrish. Wow, Brayshaw's got West Coast. I don't even know, hey. But then, yeah, I've got too much thinking to do, to be honest, and you guys probably all the same if you're holding one trade for Cripps. Maybe put your trade plans in the comments below. Sorry this one went for a little bit longer. Obviously, didn't get time to assess my side, and I just jumped in and I thought, well, what trades can I do? Because that's the first thing you do, and that's why you sort of lose viewers now, because everyone's run out of trades, so no one gives a crap. So, here's what it is. Hopefully you guys follow me next season. I've got some content coming out with another Supercoach. Hopefully in the off season we'll work something out. I don't know what we're going to do, but it should be good anyway. Hopefully you guys have a good night. My Tigers won. Don't know if you can see the Tig tat. Probably not, because that stupid red dot. Well, I don't think I've showed the viewers this. There is the... No, that's Pikachu. That's the Richmond tat. Don't know why I'm flexing. Don't ask. Anyway, hopefully you guys have a good one, and I'll catch you on the preview on Thursday or Friday. So there we go. Go Tigers.